Call to order the regular school board meeting of CMet, USD 345, July 14th. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Braden, will you lead us?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for her. Did we have any public communication? We need to adopt the agenda.
Madam President, I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second. Been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda as presented. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, Mr. Brady, you are up. I'd like to welcome Rick Brady, the high school girls track and field coach this evening.
Good evening. I'm here just to be the introducer. Yes, all the action is there. It is my great pleasure to introduce Ryan Miller to you tonight. She is the 2024-2025 United Kansas Conference Runner of the Year in cross country and in track. She is ranked number 3 or better in 5 events in the Kansas State all-time list. She is the number 1 runner and the fastest 3,000 meter runner to ever run for a Kansas high school.
Wow.
She was second in the 1,500 meters, second in the 1,600 meters, third in the 800 meters, and third in the 3,200 meters on that Kansas all-time forever list. And she is the number 3 ranked junior to be senior in the country in the 3,000 meter run.
Wow.
And she is the number 4 ranked junior to be senior in the 1,600.
In the country.
In the country. She is a double Kansas relays champion, the 1,600 meters and the 3,200 meters. And she accomplished that same feat last year as well against runners in all the Midwest. She is your Seaman High School record holder in the 400, the 800, the 1,600, and the 3,200 meter run, as well as she has run a 400 meter split on the 4x4 relay, which she helped get on the podium at the state meet as well. She has the fastest time ever run by a Seaman High School girl in the 400 at 55.46, which is incredibly fast. She is the 2025 5A state champion in the 800, 1,600, and 3,200 meter races this year. And she accomplished that all in completely different ways. Where she, as a younger runner, she just tore out and ran. And found out that works most of the time, but not always. And so this year she had a number of experiences throughout the season that she found out she could do it a different way. And she ended up using some really good, tactics to be able to come up with 3 state championships. That's a hard thing to do just because you're stacked. We had an evening 3,200 meter run and then come back the next day and finish up with the 1,600 and 800. there wasn't a whole lot of time frame in between, and plus she runs on the relay. So, and the relay had 2 races because they qualified for finals as well. And so she had a busy weekend, and this year was harder to make that happen than the year before, just because of the lack of rest in between that she had the year before. And so fortunately, next year, God willing, she'll benefit from a fortuitous schedule at the state meet as well. She has also been selected recently as the Kansas Gatorade Girls Track and Field Player of the Year. And this is the 2nd year that she has done that. And she also was the cross country Gatorade Runner of the Year, Player of the Year this year as well. She had an unusual selection that many people probably don't even realize, that she was selected as a member of the Nike Elite track team this spring, which is an honor given to only 20 females in the United States in high school in track and field. And so that's a pretty big deal. She's just a unique young lady. I got stuff I could keep talking about different things, and that just sound like numbers to you guys, but I'm sure for her, she remembers them all very well. But she's very unique, like no one I've ever coached before. And I've coached a lot of really good runners, and she is a top 5 athlete in the country. She is a leader in every sense of the word. In the classroom, she carries a 4.125 weighted grade point average. Her work ethic is off the charts. Her toughness is unmatched, and she is a very fierce competitor. But she has always made sure she's made time to impact the rest of her team in a positive way. She is, when she is dealing with injuries, she still shows up early in the morning, does her rehab routine, and makes sure that the other team members know that she's there and she's working and she's part of the team and she's leading them. Whether it be on the course or on the court or on the pitch or on the track or in the classroom, Ryan is always working to make herself better as an athlete, as a classmate, as a teammate, and as a really, really, really good human being. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Ryan Miller.
You gotta say something.
I guess I just want to say thank you, obviously, to my coach. I really couldn't be here without him, and my parents, obviously, they helped me with everything. So even dealing with injury, they helped me get through it. My coach helps me get through it, and yeah, without my teammates and everyone supporting me, it would be impossible. So I just want to say thank you to them, and yeah.
Have you always ran? I mean, like, when you were a kid, did you like running? You're still a kid, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I
No?
didn't like it. In elementary school, I was like, I'm a sprinter, like it's what I do. And I just love soccer and basketball. And then in middle school, one of my friends was like, gotta do this, like I'm gonna do it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it one day. And then I ended up like really liking it. But at first I didn't like it, I'll be honest. Like it's definitely something that has grown on me, but like now I love it. Like I just love it. I think the community of running and then just like the people you meet, and it's just a different sport because like in basketball and soccer, like it's just, I don't know, it's just different. Like doing those 4 sports and then coming to running, like everyone is just supportive of you. Like even like my biggest competitors, like at the end of the race, like we're still able to like hug and stuff because we know what it takes to be where we're at. It takes a lot. So there's like a mutual respect, I guess. So yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. What are your hopes, plans after high school?
I still want to run. I'm undecided, but I've got it narrowed down pretty good. So, looking to decide soon. So I'm excited. But I want to run, and I want to major in kinesiology and minor in business. So
Nice.
yeah.
Good job,
And
girl.
what a lot of people might not even have realized is that you did all of those running accomplishments this spring while also playing soccer.
Yeah.
So it
Yep.
was impressive.
Thank you.
What's the motivation? That's amazing. I'm sure there's a lot of things. You don't
Yeah.
have to just narrow it to one. You wake up in the morning and it's, run
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. I really like to win. So I just like winning.
We like you
And,
winning.
it takes a lot to win, and I know that. So all of the hard moments make the good moments happen. So you gotta do it.
That's awesome.
You should tell them where you ran a couple weeks ago. What was the name?
Eugene, Oregon,
Oh,
Hayward
nice.
Field. Yeah, it was just so nice. But it's funny because like you get on, like they fire the gun, and then like you get so like laser focused that you forget you're on Hayward, and it's I'm just like pause in the middle of the race. I'm like, oh my gosh,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's an awesome track.
Yeah. No, very short pauses.
Have a little thing for you. Coach Braden, you wanna come up with?
Right. You have to because, yeah. That's.
There you're at.
Thanks, Ryan. Congratulations.
Speaks well. Hey, congrats to the parents too. Good job.
Where'd she get it from?
Thanks for having her to me and
Valid.
That's awesome.
So fun.
You're great, Ryan.
Thank you.
Okay, superintendent remarks. You don't have to stay. through
Yeah,
the
you guys can
morning.
run away now. It's totally fine.
Yes,
That's where my kids are. I get it.
thank you for coming.
Bye, guys.
Good job.
Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. So it is my absolute honor to provide a trophy for outstanding achievement. It takes a lot to be a board president. It's not just, it takes a lot to be a board member, period. But as a board president, you're the one that everything flows through. You're the one that gets stuck dealing with the superintendent. And Michelle, basically, other than being hired by Frank, when he was board president, has been the board president since I've been superintendent. And I just want to present you with this gavel
Thank
for
you.
your year of service as president of Seaman School District.
Thank you.
We gotta come down too.
Oh, picture.
No, I gotta hand it to her.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, what is happening? I thought they were going down.
You can use your new gavel now.
No, it'll go on my shelf with my other two. That I tell my girls, even at their age now, do not touch.
And thank
Thank you, Brett. All right, president remarks. Does anyone have anything from the board? No? Well, I do want to say that it has been an honor to be the president. I kind of like it. Yeah, my last 3 weeks in life have been crazy.
And I can tell you individually if you want to know the details. But what it has made me realize is that you cannot take anything for granted. And the one thing I don't take for granted are my fellow board members. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love our team. Chris, I'm mad at you for screwing up our team.
Sorry.
You've been
Wow.
really good, you guys. And you guys are the best. You are. So thank you. Okay. I am turning it over to Mr. Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm?
Sorry, I always thought we were at home rule first.
No.
Well, I would like to take nominations for board president, and then the newly elected board president will resume control of the meeting and take nominations for vice president. Are there any nominations for president for the 2025-2026 school year?
Mr. Wilson,
Yes, ma'am.
I move that Christy Weidler be elected board president.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to elect Christy Weiler as board president for the next school year. Any comments? Hearing none. All in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, unless you want to oppose yourself. And, so I think we can officially pass another gavel down the road there, and
Heart is
you
racing.
now have your meeting, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. My heart's racing. Thank you, everybody. It's very kind of you. I appreciate it and look forward to this next year. So let's just move it along. Election of vice president. I would need some nominations.
I move we nominate Donna McGinty as a vice president.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Do you accept?
Oh.
We're not giving her that option. That's not how this works.
Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Congratulations, Madam Vice President. Yay!
They have to be here every.
Me, I have to be here every month.
She doesn't have to run the meeting.
I will hope, yes.
Plan on that.
And then, I would like to just reorganize next month and just
Yeah.
keep everybody where we're at. So, home rule, Mr. Wilson, is that you?
No, that is, well, we need to read the resolution for home rule and then vote on it as a board.
Oh, they're gonna make me read.
Do you want me to read?
Chris can be our official reader.
I
It's
love
just-
that. Chris loves reading. Go ahead, Chris, because I can't get mine to zoom in.
Got you. Whereas the Board of Education of Unified School District number 345, Shawnee County, Kansas has determined that the exercise of powers granted by the legislature is of benefit to the board and local patrons. And whereas Kansas law authorizes the board to transact all school district business, and whereas the board intends to adopt policies that the board deems appropriate to perform its constitutional duty to maintain, develop, and operate local public schools. And whereas the board acknowledges that the power granted by law shall not be construed to relieve the board from any obligations to comply with state law. And whereas the board acknowledges that the powers granted by law and this resolution shall not be construed to relieve any other unit of government of its duties and responsibilities prescribed by law. And whereas the board acknowledges that the powers granted by law do not create any responsibility on the part of the district to assume the duties or responsibilities that are required of another unit of government. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of Unified School District number 345, Shawnee County, Kansas, that the board shall exercise the power granted by law and by this resolution.
Is that your motion for that resolution?
That's my motion.
Okay.
Move that
Second.
We do that.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Discussion? No? All in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. All right, next we need to establish our monthly meeting date, time and place.
Madam President, I move that we approve the USD 345 Board of Education to meet here at the Education Center in the boardroom on the second Monday of each month at 6 p.m. And in the regular scheduled meeting may be adjourned to another time and place if we need it.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Only thing would be March when spring break, normally, it's like we do it the third Monday, or it's sometimes varies because of spring break.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I think
next
we
year.
checked that. Candace, are you double checking?
Checked it on those.
Thank you.
That was on the bottom.
But we can vote to move that later. can't we?
You can.
Yeah. It looks like it's on the 9th.
Yeah, it should be good in March.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. Discussion's all good. All in favor, raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Appointments, Mr. Wilson, is this you?
Well, I will read the appointments. You can either choose to approve them individually, or at the end, you can make a motion to approve them all at once.
That one.
So the appointment of clerk and deputy clerk, Candace Leduc as board clerk and Teresa Dunham as deputy board clerk. Lisa Madrano as treasurer. And sorry, Miranda. I had a buddy that Russell with Madrano. Appoint Mr. Neinstead as the hearing officer and Ms. Raines as the alternate for free reduced meal prices. For suspensions and expulsions, appoint Marty Neinstead as the hearing officer and director of human resources, which is currently not filled, as the alternate. Appoint school district attorney is David R. Cooper of Fisher Patterson, Saylor and Smith. The impact aid representative would be Brad Wilson. And the appointment of coordinator for homeless and foster care children duties would be Deidre Raines. And the appointment of the Capers agent will be Marty Neinstead. And the appointment of truancy officers will be all building principals as truancy officers. And for the compliance coordinator for federal anti-discrimination laws, that would be to appoint Marty Neinstead as a compliance coordinator. And then appointing Candace Leduc as the Freedom from Information Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. I need a motion to approve all the appointments separately or altogether.
Madam President, I make a move to do all of these appointments as a group. A through K.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Disposition of business by consent.
Madam President, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discussion items. Miss Megan, you are up.
Hey, good evening. July means that we are thinking about all of our back to school events that are quickly approaching. And so with those is my annual opportunity to invite you as the board to join us for a couple of our back to school events. So just on page 1 there under our welcome back section, You'll see in bold the two events that we would like for you to attend as your schedule allows. The first one is on Tuesday, August 5th, and this is during our new staff orientation. We are excited to formally welcome our new staff back on the 4th, where they'll be with buildings. So on the 5th, they are together with us at the as a district at the middle school, and we would like for you to join us for a luncheon that day that will begin at 11:30 in the middle school commons. And then the other event is our annual convocation to kick off the new year when all staff return on the morning of August 7th. That will begin at 8 o'clock in the high school auditorium. So we look forward to seeing those of you who can attend at those welcome back events. Any questions for me?
Please come to convocation because that is my birthday.
Yes.
We'll celebrate.
What a great
there.
birthday celebration. Great. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Megan. Miss Deidre.
The lunches on.
Good evening, everyone. In our quest to ensure that, to do our best to ensure that staffing is in place at the beginning of the year, I decided to interview paraprofessionals over the summer. This is our second year doing that. We had 18 positions open last year. This year we only had 11, which was kind of nice. I interviewed 21 people last week. And we will be offering positions this week as well. I invited the principals and several of them took me up on it and sat with me, but it was a nice opportunity just to do a full day of interviews and try to get those staff members in place. Any questions about that or anything else in the report? Thank you.
Thanks, Deidre. Mr. Lance.
Hi.
Softball, we got the sidewalks. The season got in. Everything looks good. No more mud tracked on the field. A little late, but we got it in there. We're good. Get down a little bit more. There you go. So this is the beginning, or actually it's almost the end of the high school roof. They have a little L shape they're doing, but that's the racetrack they've been using pretty much on the beginning of it. They got the front side, now they're just working up by the windows. I just took a few pictures of what they've done so far. But they're moving quite along. Hopefully we start WI sometime this week, so. Seaman Middle School, this is part of the concrete work that we tried to get in last year at the end of the summer and we couldn't, so. A lot of it was heaving and doors were having problems opening at the main door and then on the east side of the north side. So we got all of that this summer, so we're good to go. That's pretty much for June. It was pretty exciting. So we'll see what July brings. So anything else?
The August report will have a photo of the water fountain, I'm assuming.
I don't know, that's quite entertaining how you showed that.
Thank you, Lance.
Thank you, Lance.
Thanks, Lance.
Policy updates, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. We have a lot of them. I will go through them one at a time. Some of them have minor changes, some of them are full brand new policies. But please do not hesitate to interrupt me, ask questions, those type of things. Otherwise, I'm going to power through them a little bit. I'm going to try to stay in the order except for one exception. So I'm going to start with KN, which is our big complaint policy. There is only one small change recommended by KASB, and that is instead of the Board of Education shall investigate all complaints about the superintendent, they may evaluate the need to investigate it before actually investigating it. The only example I could think of right off that you might not want to investigate if somebody complains that the superintendent is increasingly bald. You may want to go, yeah, we know, but we really don't need to investigate that. That is the only change to that one. I'm going to go to KBC Media Relations and actually changes the title slightly to and usage. one of the new bills through the legislature addressed live streaming, and although it didn't address this policy any, this did add live streaming to a couple of our policies, just because I think it put it on the in the crosshairs for KASB. So this adds live streaming of board meetings, which is not required to live stream, but if you do, you must live stream. Well, no, that's the policy. Oh yeah, no, this is the one that has the big change. I apologize. If you live stream any part of the board meeting, even though you're not required to, but if you do, you must live stream all of it, including public comments. So that is a change in the bill. And then you'll see a couple other places where live streaming is changed as well. Third one is visitors to the school. House Bill 2052 amends state statute to ban schools from requesting personal information or requiring off-duty law enforcement to wear something that would identify themselves as law enforcement. They are allowed to carry their firearm. And so in the past, some schools have asked law enforcement to wear a sticker so that if somebody saw them with a firearm, they understood. For the safety of the law enforcement officer, schools are not allowed to do this. The KASB recommendation, just in the green part that you see, says identifying them as such. I've actually changed that, and I'm recommending that we use the exact same language in the bill, which is the law enforcement officer who possesses identification required by such officer's law enforcement agency and present such identification when requested by a person of authority for the building, which would include our administration, which would include any of our law enforcement officers in there as well, or anybody that is acting as such. So that is the recommendation on that one. So I've changed KASB's just slightly to be to align with the statute. JBC enrollment only changes in that they added a section for military students, but it only gives a reference to a new board policy, JBCD. And I will skip school site councils to go ahead and address the brand new policy that's in there for enrollment of military students. So the enrollment of military students, JBCD, starts with some definitions. There's really not anything new or different, but it gives military children of military families precedence. They are already in law when we do out of district transfers and those types of things. But this allows the military student to enroll early, even if they don't have proof of residency in the state yet. They can enroll them, get them enrolled at the time, and then ask for that information later. Also, if they're a pre-K student, they will be admitted if slots are available. And so that is a section. And then a third section is obviously we will serve their IEPs and meet their services as a course. We always will. So those two kind of go together, but that's the enrollment of military students. The next one is IV, school site councils. Site councils are created by statute. There is and you guys, I've given you information that there is a new bill that makes any subcommittee of the board an open meeting. The KASB wanted to clarify that school site councils, even though you usually approve who's on them, that those are created by statute. So added clarification was added to this policy to ensure that there didn't appear to be created by the board and subject to coma. So school site councils may run as they always have because of that. CN public records, there's also a new bill that updates Open Records Act. You can't overcharge a person who is requesting records. And there are some specific rules for how you charge for staff, considering their pay and making sure you use the lowest paid individual. If the total cost ends up over $200, then we need to contact the requester, and the requester may amend, they don't have to, but they may amend their request so that it can come in less than $200. Again, trying to lower those costs for somebody requesting open records. If, however, there is no response from the requester, then the request may be dropped as well. I think that's 3 days, if I remember correctly. So that is just stuff that we already do, but it's good to have in policy.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
where it says the board further assigns the clerk or, so is that Candace?
Yes, she always does she is the Freedom of Information Officer and does all of our open records.
So the or, can that be removed?
It can.
there?
Yeah,
mean,
and
just
I can bring it back
clarity.
next time without that or.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yep.
think,
Donna, where is that?
uh, 2, 3, 4th line down in the text. First paragraph.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no need for that to be there.
Also at the end.
Okay. Near the end of it. Yep.
Is it in more place in there?
Yeah, at the end,
Perfect.
found it.
I'm on supervision. Is there any other questions? Supervision of medication. The only change is no medication shall be dispensed or administered if prohibited by law. Hormone replacement drugs are illegal for minors. So this specifies that schools can't administer or dispense any illegal drug. We never did anyway, or wouldn't be doing that. That should be happening at a hospital or a GAACB is a new policy about employee whistleblowers. It outlines the rights of the whistleblower. It outlines the rights of the employer, as well as the responsibilities of the employer. Obviously, that person has the right to report to any agency with whom they feel necessary to report a wrongdoing, something of that nature. Obviously, there can't be any retaliation, and then obviously, or not obviously, but the part of this policy is that this has to be prominently displayed in our building. So we'll make sure we do that. JH, student activities. It opens and clarifies the participation in CASHA activities being allowed for homeschool students and virtual students. Does have a provision in there that a student can't just withdraw from a public school if they become ineligible and immediately go play at a private school. If they're ineligible at the one school, they're ineligible for the other school. So there are some good provisions. It also adds the provision, Kansas Academy of Math and Science is a school in Hayes that some students who are actually attending their home school, it's a residential school that they can attend for a while, and it makes provisions to allow them to play CASHA activities. Questions on that? At Hayes. Yeah, at Hayes, because they live there.
Are they required to enroll in Seaman at all, like for one
No,
class or
they just
anything?
have to be, if they're homeschooled, they have to be in good standing and sign a affidavit, essentially, that says that. There are still CASHA rules that do apply when they move and those types of things as well. Any other questions? KGB, which I always thought was ironic, is concealed observations. This is the one that adds live streaming of open meetings to the allowable video surveillance. So we can surveil you on our live stream. KGB is not allowed to. DFE, investment of funds. When we invest money that sets the criteria, no more than for 2 years, we do have to put out a request for proposal all banks, depositories have 2 days to be able to respond to that RFP for investment of our idle funds. BBC is board committees. And you've kind of seen this a little bit, but this has been changed significantly, only because they wanted to use the same wording that they use now, subordinate groups or subcommittees, not just committees of the board. But the board subcommittees are subject to coma. No subcommittee can last for more than 1 year unless it's reestablished. That's why we tend to reestablish those. And I'll address my recommendation for how we end up doing this as we get to that discussion item. But that is the board policy, then that would cover that. Either way, if we do it with superintendent or if we do it with board ones.
Any questions for Mr. Wilson?
The only one I have a question about is KM. You can go back to that one. And this is just me looking at how this sentence reads. In accordance, let's see, 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph. In accordance with Kansas law, off-duty law enforcement officers who possesses, it should be who possess,
Yes.
and then go on down to the next line, it should say and present without the S. I think, for it to read right.
Yes, I
To
agree.
read correctly.
I would agree, I'm on the wrong one. I thought you said, did you say KM?
KM, is it an area?
Yeah, there we go, okay.
Sorry.
Did you get that,
Yeah.
Candace? Awesome.
Yeah.
Since I can't find it, Candace has it.
I got it. Thank you.
I love Donna and her wordsmithing.
Well, it's-
Makes me happy.
I'm telling you, incorrect usage is a pet peeve, so thank you.
Any more questions for Mr. Wilson? And we will bring those next month?
Yep.
For us to approve?
Yep.
Well, you talked about board committees, so let's talk about committee updates.
So I am going to recommend that this is up for discussion. Having the following superintendent committees. And so I'm gonna go through a list of committees that I would recommend as creating as a superintendent to provide our staff and our community in some cases to be able to have avenues to provide input on these things and really to help guide the district in so many cases, as they have done wonderfully. Board members, you guys have been a part of those as contributors, but also as being able to hear the things that our staff are doing and the ideas they have, and I think it's very valuable. The Professional Development Council is one. The current board member that is on there is Donna McGinty. If, and this is for any of these as I go through them, not now, but if you would like to be on any of those committees, please email me. If you would like to be off a committee, please email me and I'll take you off of the committee. And then I'll send those back out to you. One thing I can't do is I can't put more than 3 board members on any committee because that means we will have a quorum of the board at the committee meeting. So right now, Donna is on the Professional Development Council. The District Wellness Council currently is Christy Weiler and Chris Travis. The Technology Advisory Committee is Braden Werner and Chris Travis. Emergency Operations Planning Committee is Diana Brodeen and Kyle McNorton. Long Range Facility Planning Committee is Braden Werner and Chris Travis. The District Mental Health Committee is Diana Brodeen, Christy Weiler, and Michelle Cadill. And the District Budget Committee is Donna McGinty, Michelle Cadill, and Braden Werner. And then the District Equity Council is Diana Brodeen and Christy Weiler. The discussion that I think is appropriate is if you're not okay with me changing those from board committees and having those be superintendent committees, they would function the same way. They tend to provide our staff as well as me great insight from our staff to be able to make good decisions, administrative staff to make good decisions based on that feedback. And then usually those committees at least don't make direct recommendations to the board, so I thought they were appropriate to be superintendent committees. And then we can present what they do to you, just like we always do.
Do we need a motion?
Not right now, no. But if you'd like to discuss that at any length, feel free to do that, or I can go on and we can, at the end of this discussion, we can have a discussion as well.
Keep going.
Okay, the other board subcommittee that I would recommend stay a board subcommittee, because it does make a direct recommendation to the board each year, is the calendar committee. The calendar committee works together, does a wonderful job. Current members are Donna McGinty and Kyle McNorton, and then they make a direct recommendation. They actually survey, we get staff input, then they survey our staff. They ask for their preference, then they present to you guys what that vote looks like, and you guys actually approve the calendar directly. There's a lot of things that I recommend or that somebody else recommends, but this one really is recommended straight to you, and you guys do that. So I think that should remain a board subcommittee. Other committees that we participate in makes no difference. There's no such, these are not board committees because they're outside committees. They are not under COMA because they are led by groups that are not under COMA. But the KASB Governmental Relations Committee, the current board member on the KASB Governmental Relations is Michelle Caudill. The CEAF, Seaman Education Advantage Foundation, the current board members that are on that are Diana Brodeen and Kyle McNorton. And then the Intergovernmental Cooperation Committee, which is my favorite one to say, is Christy Weiler and Diana Brodeen. And so this is the time if you want any discussion over theirs, but there are action items for those last 4 committees that you could appoint who you would like to serve on there in official capacity.
Can we just move it to stay the way it is?
Yeah, I think they want to see if other people want to be on them, but certainly you could.
So do you want to start with the calendar committee?
So, yes, so if we're ready to move to action items, action item A would be that calendar subject. Christy, I will leave it to you then.
Sure. Donna and Kyle, are you wanting to stay on? They're fine with that. So, can we just approve them all in one? Okay.
Sure.
And then our outside committees, Michelle to serve
Yes.
on KSB.
Can I put my name on the whitelist to be on the calendar committee, or I'd be on that?
Yeah,
You can be on it, yeah. Candace, put Braden's name down. Michelle's good with KASB, and then for CEAF, Kyle and Diana, are you still good with that as well?
Yes, please.
Okay. And then ICC would be myself, which I'm fine, and Diana, you're good.
Yeah, as long as I put it on the right day on my calendar, we'll be in good shape.
And I apologize, I think I've been sending those notices to Michelle instead of to you, Chris.
It's fine, because I was
You
like,
can-
I haven't been notified, so I have no clue.
I will make sure you get on there.
Okay,
I think I thought it was Michelle. She was on the year before.
yeah, that's no problem. Okay, so just need a motion to approve all of these appointments.
Madam President, I move to approve the appointments as discussed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, Mr. Marty.
Hello.
Good evening. It's that time we periodically replace. Highway patrol is the best place for us to get patrol cars.
And it takes quite the time for us to have one come available. And we have had that happen. We've been looking for about a year. And we would like to recommend the approval for that with the cost not to exceed $38,825.
Any questions for Marty?
Is it still a patrol car? It's an SUV.
Yeah.
How old is the other one? Do you know?
I do not. I do not.
I move that we approve the purchase for no more than 38,825.00.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Quick question, Candace, is there a way to turn off those notifications? I'm sorry.
Up in the right corner where it says voting.
Oh,
Oh,
dang.
thank you. I'm sorry, it kept losing my spot. Thank you very much.
Same here.
Exemption from GAAP auditing requirement resolution, Miss Lisa.
This is just an annual resolution that we adopt every year saying that we're going to waive the generally accepted accounting principles and go with KMAG, which is what we use through the state of Kansas.
Do we have to read it? Cause there's a resolution.
Yeah, it's usually appropriate to read those. It's the same one you do every year. But do we have a resolution reader here?
That would be Chris.
Chris, I will.
Where's that? I was watching up here.
We'll read it up there.
No.
Swear out.
Alright. Do I need to make a motion first?
Yes.
Make a motion to waive the state requirements to use generally accepted accounting principles. Whereas Seaman Unified School District number 345, Topeka, Kansas has determined that the financial statements and financial reports for the year ending 30 June 2026 to be prepared in conformity with the requirements of KSA 75-1120AA are not relevant to the requirements of the cash basis and budget laws of the state and are of no significant value to the Board of Education or the members of the general public of Seaman Unified School District number 345. And whereas there are no revenue bond ordinances or other ordinances or resolutions of said municipality which require financial statements and financial reports to be prepared in conformity with KSA 75-1120AA for the year ended 30 June 2026. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of Seaman Unified School District number 345, Topeka, Kansas, in regular meeting duly assembled this 14th day of July 2025, that the Board of Education waives the requirements of KSA 75-1120AA as they apply to Seaman Unified School District number 345 for the year ending 30 June 2026. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education shall cause the financial statements and financial reports of Seaman Unified School District number 345 be prepared on the basis of cash receipts and disbursements as adjusted to show compliance with the cash basis and the budget laws of this state.
It has been moved, or yeah, it has been moved, yeah.
Second.
Okay. Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Miss Lisa.
Okay, I said hide voting still show.
I know. iPad. Oh, hi. Not Jeff.
Yes, so on behalf of Jeff and I am, yes. I am here to seek your approval for our iPad transition plan, specifically the part related to purchasing iPads in order to staff building-based checkout carts for the coming year.
Well, this is for the 75 iPads and 5 carts, is that?
Yeah,
correct?
you sent it.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
month. Yep, at the bottom of the document, it shows the breakdown of the number of iPads and the costs associated with that. I would be making that purchase here within the next month or so to have them by early school year.
I move that we approve the purchase.
Transition plan.
Thank you. Of the iPads and the carts, the proposal for 34,000 out of the capital outlay.
Been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah, thank you. And I think I'm
And
next.
you're up again. for
Yes.
student handbook.
Yep, last month I presented the changes for our student handbooks across all buildings. And so tonight I'm here to get your approval for those handbooks for the coming school year.
Madam President, I'll make a motion to approve the student parent handbooks as presented.
I need a second.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any more discussion?
On the high school one, page 4. Change Officer McKay to Officer Bond. It'll reach.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Donna. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Classified handbooks, is that Marty?
That's one of them.
Presented last month, and we would ask for approval for it to be approved.
Motion to approve the classified handbook.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Marty. Mr. Wilson, revenue neutral rates.
Actually, that is Lisa.
Oh, Lisa, sorry. Didn't see any initials, my bad.
Another annual thing that we do, the district's required to complete a revenue neutral form and notify the county clerk if the district plans to exceed the revenue neutral tax rate for the 25-26 school year. What that means, the revenue neutral rate, is that the county looks at the tax revenue we received last year and calculates what mill levy we would use to receive that exact same dollar amount. But similar to your home, the dollar amount you bring in last year doesn't always pay for all the inflation and other items. As costs continue to go up, we'll need to be able to exceed the revenue neutral rate to bring in enough revenue to help with cost. We're asking that the board approves a 51.966 mills that we'll submit. So when we submit this, we're doing worst case scenario. We have to notify them that we're going to go over by a certain date, and we're still in the middle of getting budget and getting numbers from the county and getting the state budget forms put together. So for example, last year we approved at 51.99. We submitted in our budget at 51.466, and it actually ended up being a 51.209. So we did come in lower, which is what we had promised that we would try to do, is to keep things steady or lower, which we will try to continue to do again this year. Last year, a question was brought up about the difference between how come submitted and actual are different. And that's because when we get information from the county, it's an estimate on their the assessed valuation. So when they get their actual assessed valuation in, they change that mill levy to bring in the revenue that we have essentially requested. That's all.
And we'll assess the actual mill levy at the meeting on September 8th. Is that, you're gonna determine what that actually is? Is that what that meeting is?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's when we'll bring you, and our goal has always been, what we've done is bring you a lower, equal or lower mill rate than we did the year before. So that would be actually 51 point, is that 466? Is that correct? That we said, Lisa?
9 to 6.
No,
Ninth.
next, the one we plan to actually bring you.
The one that we submitted last year was 51.466.
Yes, so we plan to bring you one that's lower than that. And if you want us to put that on there, we can. We just like to put a little fudge factor just in case something happens, although,
I remember this from last year.
yeah. Yes, sir.
So do we need to do? Exceed the poster will not exceed the rate.
I think
We're planning on exceeding the revenue neutral rate. Lisa, do you know what the revenue neutral rate is? Do you have that from the county?
I don't have it with me.
That would mean we would get no more money, dollars than we got the year before, which would mean we wouldn't be able to do raises, we wouldn't be able to have increased. So what we're saying is we don't want to increase the levy over last year, not increase the revenue over last year. We do want to increase the revenue. We really want to increase the revenue to the same point that the mill levy was last year. And that would really give you a pretty good, because of housing costs and assessed valuations going up. That would give us a little bit more money to be, and it would, in theory, give us about the cost of inflation more money. At the exact same rate, or less. Yeah.
So if we're gonna get the same money or less. Or the rate.
The rate would be the same or less is the goal, yes.
I remember from last year, this was just to give you, Lisa, as you're doing all the planning, the wiggle room if needed.
Yes,
Because
yes,
otherwise, if something would happen,
right.
going back to declare something else is not.
No,
Not
you
what
can't
this
do it,
Any
correct.
higher than that.
It's, they're intermingling two different things, the rates versus the revenue. So we're asking to exceed revenue. We're not asking to go over the mill rate that we put in last year.
Yes.
Although this is saying could
Yeah.
bring you one that's higher.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
By a half a mil.
But that doesn't mean we have to approve it.
No.
That's what the September
Yes.
8th meeting.
Right,
is. This
right.
Gives you the fudge factor for right now.
Right, this allows us to build a
This is what will
budget.
Go out though, the county clerk will send this out to residents of the area to say. Your worst case scenario, it could be half a mil higher than what was submitted last year, and that does go out.
So we need to approve this.
Yes.
Make a motion to.
It needs to have action, but again, you guys end up deciding if you want us to. I mean, if you want to ensure that that mill rate no way goes over 51.466, you can put that on this sheet. And there's no way we can.
But
go
there's
higher.
nothing
What
wrong with.
happens if we do go over?
You can't,
You can't.
You have
you
to.
can't.
Okay,
You don't get that much.
That.
Yes, this will be the max
Gotcha.
ever allowed. And then we actually bring you at the RNR hearing. The actual that we're not going to be able to exceed.
Which is the September 8th thing.
Yeah, which our goal is, yeah.
Yes.
Right,
We
right.
do. Yes.
Because within the R&R, it talks about the hearing as well that you'll be approving before the next board
Give
meeting.
people a chance to come in and talk. And again, they're gonna get this in the mail. And then they actually have a chance at the hearing to come in and say. I don't want my taxes to go up, I don't do 51.966, do 51.466. And we can say, well, good, guess what we did? But again, this is a little bit of wiggle room in case something happened, but it is our goal to keep it neutral, because I know that's what you guys were not neutral. I want the rate neutral, because I know that's what you guys want to do. We did have a situation a couple of years ago that made us a little nervous, but the county has come back each year since then, and we put a little more in carryover in that to give us some cushion for that. So I don't see us having any issue keeping 51.566. So 466. So if that's what you want to put, I'm not going to be offended, but it's kind of the same discussion last year. It's just that little wiggle room. I think I asked for 53.3 last year, which was a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
But I was also a year closer to that LOB issue.
Have you gotten in previous years a lot of questions about it, like a lot of phone calls
We have
or?
not.
Mm-mm.
We have not. The only one I really got was a gentleman who wanted to, and he came here that wanted to, contest his, yeah, you remember that, his valuation.
Yeah, that was last year.
And that's not us, so Kyle was nice enough to tell him when and where that meeting was.
Thank you, Mr. Representative.
No, it's at home. You've done it, haven't you? Been there, yeah. Well,
So, I guess our discussion is if we want to keep it at 51.966 or drop it to 51.466.
I'm good with leaving it personally at 51.966 because this just gives us a little bit of wiggle as we're planning and waiting for the rest of the numbers to come back. And the intention is that it does not exceed, but why limit just in case something really wacky would happen? I'd rather have the wiggle room.
Okay, anybody
My
else?
opinion.
I think we should listen to our district financial person. She is pretty smart.
You like her?
I think we can.
When you start,
Or what we're doing.
when you start talking, sometimes I'm like, whoa, she's way.
Let's not have to translate for me.
Yeah, if we keep it neutral, evaluations of the homes and businesses in our district are still going up. So the actual money will be going up that we will receive because of the valuations increasing. We are in the process of trying to control our expenses and cutting our expenses, cutting the budget right now, which I applaud the superintendent, Lisa, and everybody's work on. I know it's been a huge, huge deal. I think we need to commit to saying we're gonna stay and keep our mill levy the same. It's just part of that whole process.
I agree.
To change that number? To what?
Oh, I,
466.
Which is where we were this year.
Yes, so we submitted this last year for the final one.
Does that scare you?
I mean, anything that you can't go, this is a one and done type thing. And I'm a finance person, so I like to be able to have some of that wiggle room. Now, we've already talked about numbers, and I'll tell you, it is not 51.966 by any means. I mean, you're looking at something pretty big having to happen with enrollment or something. That would cut into some of our revenue that we'd have to grab somewhere else.
I agree
Because
that
we have gotten a preliminary estimate on the assessed valuation. We'd have to get back from the county that they screwed up, but the assessed valuation didn't increase for us to even bring anything. That really is the only thing I can foresee. That's why I'm okay. If you guys want to do 4, I'm good.
So
I don't see
another
a,
insight there is the state level. It's tried this last year and it didn't go through. There's gonna be something next session that will address revenue neutral with counties, school boards, all local entities. And I don't wanna say penalized, but it will be tougher to do with not do neutral, revenue neutral rates. Just looking out in the future, so it's yeah, it's gonna be.
but the wiggle room is nice to have.
It is nice. Yeah, it is.
I mean, September 8th is
So
always
if you're
a
gonna
big
budget
setting.
your home household income, you're making X number of dollars this year and you're, whatever it is as a household. Do you plan on getting a raise next year, or do you say this is what we're making and we need to make it on this?
This is what we're making. Yeah,
That's what we're talking.
gotcha.
Even though that could go up because of valuations in our district, assuming they'll go up. But that's really what we're looking at, the way I see it. We want to be committed to making sure we're spending our money the very best we can. Look at all the line items in our budget, trying to keep that spending under control by still doing what we need to do, give our employees raises and things like that. I mean, it's not easy, right? We just can't ask for more money. over this all the time. Not that this would mean we would.
Right.
That's where I'm kind of coming down is that because we're waiting on other entities to finalize their numbers. I would rather that as a district, we didn't lock ourselves in 100% until all the information is available, which is what that September 8th. I think it's one thing as a board to say, listen, this is what our intention is.
Well, this is our intention. Whether we're not gonna do it or not, this is what we're telling.
See, and I don't see it that way.
I don't-
I
Yeah, I
see it
don't
as we're,
either.
this is like our proposed, like, this is what we're budgeting up to, but
Proposal
then.
is an intention.
So Brad, you had mentioned that we
Yeah,
could
it's-
say our
Yeah.
proposed mill levy rate is 51.966. Can we add something that says with the,
No, that's the county form.
yeah,
We just have to wait till the numbers come.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
People
this is
that-
eight estimates.
Yeah.
That goes-
It's sort of back the way we have to do this.
right,
It
it is that,
It is.
right? And I
We
just,
should be able to have our valuations and say, okay, we're good at the
Right.
51.
And we do have the estimated valuations.
but they're estimated and they're not.
Well, and we shouldn't, unless they made a egregious mistake that they're going to fix. We won't get the actual until about the budget, well, actually, after we submit the budget.
Yeah.
That's why.
What
Do you know a legislator?
the,
What'd you say?
I said, do you know a legislator?
I
You can
do.
talk to him about that.
so why do you see doing it this way as bad?
I think it gives the impression to people that we are willing to raise the rate.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I,
Is what it, will we?
Is that
I
even
don't think
though
We will. I have confidence in the
that
staff.
we're okay with it if it does?
Yeah, that basically would be what you're saying here is if I came back and Lisa came back and said, guys, we're in an issue, a deep issue if we don't do 51.966. You could do it.
Right.
That doesn't mean you would,
It's
but you
giving
could.
you, like you
but-
said, wiggle room, the option,
Yeah.
whatever term you want to
But
use.
that's also what's going to be communicated to the public when the county sends out letters. They're gonna say it could be 51.966.
You go up half a point.
Could go up half a point is what they're gonna tell them.
But I feel like if people were really concerned about that, they would pick up the phone and call Mr. Wilson and be like, explain this to me. You know what I mean? Like, but supposedly he hasn't gotten any phone calls over the last 2 years or however long we've been doing this. So I don't see what the issue is.
Does anybody remember, is this roughly how we did it last year? We
Yeah.
put the wiggle room in, right? And
We
then
did.
came in.
I actually recommended like a lot of.
A lot of it.
It was like 50, and we worked it down.
53.3,
Yeah.
and we brought it down to 51.99.
Mhm.
I just, yeah, I'm good with us having a little bit of wiggle room until we have final information on September 8th. We know what our intention is and what our preferences are, but kind of like when Lisa said she's a little bit nervous about locking in anything without all the information.
I appreciate all what Kyle has said and I know what we did last year and I know how it ended up. But I also know what our district is needing to do right now and how we're really having to tighten things. So I guess that's where I hesitate.
It is, and cost of living is just eating
Yes.
everybody up. Property tax is a big part of that.
Yes,
It's not just us, it's the county
Right.
and the township and,
yes.
you know, everything else that's on that's, you know, eating the average Joe up and eating
Right.
everybody up. It's just it's tough. I mean, I understand. Our cost goes up, the county has to pay
Yes.
more for, I mean, it all goes together, but it's a vicious cycle.
I agree with you, Donna, because we are trying to tighten everything up, but I also have faith in our
Yes.
business director that she knows that we don't want to
Yes.
go over this,
Yes.
but giving her a little bit of sense of relief of like, there is some
Yes.
wiggle room. I am confident that Lisa and Mr. Wilson will also know that we don't want them to go above the 0.466, and they would make that happen. But I feel for a sense of mind, it's just better to have this little bit of wiggle room and let the community come and ask questions, because it is just this, it's just a proposed, it's not our final. But that's my 2 cents. Are we still discussing, or?
I'm good.
We disgusted.
Need a motion, please?
Madam President, I would move that we approve the notice of revenue neutral rate intent as presented with a proposed mill levy rate at 51.966, and I need that. Yeah, 51.966.
It's been moved. Need a second?
Second.
The date of the hearing, Madam President, in my motion would be September 8th, thank you, 2025 at 5:50 PM. And we will be held here at 901 Northwest Lyman Road in Topeka, Kansas.
Been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Brayden. Did you get that, Candace? Motion carries. Great, thank you, Lisa. Mr. Wilson, end of year transfers.
It does say Mr. Wilson, and we are asking for you to give me, and really, if you want to be honest, my designee Lisa, the authority to approve and authorize both year-end closeouts that her staff does so well and transfers for the 24-25 school year as are needed. And then those final transfer amounts will be shared with you at the August board meeting and probably before that. Yeah.
Madam President, I'll make a motion to give authority to the superintendent to make the necessary end of the year transfer.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Mr. Wilson, can we just make a note to possibly move this to the June meeting because it's weird?
We already have noted.
Okay, that
Yeah,
you are
I think June is a better month
transferring,
to do this.
yeah, after the fiscal year.
Yeah. We don't do them until the middle of July, but it really should be given authority in June. It's more apropos.
Yeah, perfect. It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Partnership plan and mission statement, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, so you know the work we've been doing with the partnership plan. Would think it's essential in every aspect that we team and are one with our parents. It has made, I'm gonna blame it on COVID. I'm not sure it was COVID, but it happened the same time. Probably was happening a little before that. But during COVID, we asked parents not to come in, and kids have had a little more reign with cell phones and those types of things. And what we want to do is say, parents, can we help you? And parents, please help us in every aspect, whether it's academics, whether it's behavior. And so, you know, that we did a lot of work with them and came up with this partnership plan to say, guys, here's what we need help from you. And here's what we're trying to do to help you with your child. We have the exact same goals. Every one of us wants those kids to be successful. And so really that's as much for information, but if you want to accept that partnership plan and approve it, we will move forward with that as well. But also I've shared with you kind of in that same vein, working together, adding that to the front and shortening our mission statement to be the beginning of our mission statement. Working together, we will prepare each student for lifelong success. It is important that the working together is in there because everybody, I actually had a conversation with a teacher, I guess it was Friday, and there are different roles in our different district, but there are not different important. In fact, if you ask a child who the most important person in the district is, confident they will tell you that that's that teacher standing in front of the room. So I want working together in there because this is not a job the board can do on their own. Certainly not a job I can do on my own or any other group can do on their own. We have to do it together.
Madam President, I move to accept the partnership plan and recommended mission statement.
Been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
No, I was voting yes. I said it too late. You
He's
voted
slow.
too quick. Having an intermediary conversation with
Did you get that,
Vote
Candace?
yes.
Motion carries. Okay.
your face.
Oh, well, I was like, really, Chris? Okay. I would like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss confidential employee information pursuant to the exception relating to personnel matters of non-elected personnel, and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom at
What, 10 minutes?
no later than, let's just say 7:35. And inviting Mr. Neinstead and Mr. Wilson.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. extend executive session and to resume the regular board meeting no later than 8:10. Seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Say aye. Pose same sign.